excuse me, pardon me, your kid wants to be an actor, a musician, wants to sing, wants to do stagecraft, and Uncle Louis says he will kidnap the child before he allows that to happen. Wait a minute, it's because of the fact that kids are not exposed to the arts anymore in school. And while I'm not blaming you, as the Dean of the Grand Canyon University College of Fine Arts and Production, Claude Pensis, what's going on in public schools in America with the arts?
Well, unfortunately, the arts are declining. Everybody's hit with the economic situation, and unfortunately, the arts appear to be a fairly easy way to trim the budget. The difficulty is it really it creates a situation in which we lose a certain amount of who we are, and it doesn't always necessarily equate, because you can make a living in the arts in lots and lots of different sorts of ways, and we need to explore that more.
But an awful lot of parents say it's nice to have a band, it's nice to have a chorus, and it's fun to go to a play and see your kid on stage. But we can't afford it. Let's just stick with math and English and history.
Right. And math and English and history are very important. But ultimately, it's the fine arts that really help define who we are as people, help define who we are as a country, and help define who we are as a civilization. If you think about it, who won the 100-yard dash in 5th century BC? I don't know, but I can tell you that Aristotle and Aristophanes and Sophocles and Euripides wrote plays that we still do today. And the reason we still do them is because they speak to that which is human. They speak to the common elements that happened back then that are common with us today.
All right, but whether it's that gang from Greece or France or Germany or China, right, compare the arts in the high school years here in America with most of the rest of the countries?
Well, it's very different here, as I understand. In terms of the arts, we are really the arts are pretty much defined by school district to a large degree, rather than a large mandate. Although there are state standards and things of that sort. But it really has to do with less of a holistic view and more of an independent view as you move from section to section. And that's interesting. It can be very helpful depending on where you are, depending on the district. You can get a great arts education, or you may not be getting anything at all.
All right, but what about a district called Copenhagen? Do Danish kids grow up with a more developed appreciation for the arts than kids in Arizona or Wisconsin or North Dakota?
Western Europe in general has much more education in the arts. They have state-subsidized or state-run opera. They have state-run theater, certainly state-run orchestras, things of that sort, dance, so it's if you were to look per capita in terms of what we spend per high schooler here versus Europe, there's a huge difference.
I think I just heard some voices saying, if we can't afford it in Arizona, how can the country afford to have state-run opera, state-run ballet, state-run theater?
Yeah. Well, you're talking to somebody who's in the arts, so I think that it is. My personal point of view is it's as important as anything else. And ultimately, I don't want to disparage any other field, but ultimately, if we can afford high school football, we should be able to afford high school theater, dance.
Should we be able to afford both?
I think we should. I was a high school athlete. I know I don't look it right now, but I played baseball, I played basketball, and tennis, and I think that they are both very important, and I would like to see a balance.
And finally, what about the charter schools that concentrate and focus on the arts?
I think they're great. Arizona School for the Arts is fantastic. I know at least one, if not a few, people who teach down there, and academically it's very rigorous. You get a very fine education from there, and B, you leave with a complete package. And that's something that in talking with people who teach business, international business, they want, to a large degree, in the collegiate level, they want their students to have some sort of background in the arts, because in the international world they're going to be talking with people from China, they're going to be talking with people from Western Europe who have these sorts of backgrounds. So it's not just one subject. They can talk about the world in general and in terms that are not just defined by one discipline.
So if you are a sports fan, you probably know that Grand Canyon University this year became a Division I school. They can play with the biggies. Well, you know what? It also is thought of as a Division I school when it comes to drama, when it comes to film, digital, when it comes to music. And that's right. That's our little school that could and does over on West Camelback. So, what's it like being in the arts? Fabulous.